The following is a fan-based review. All materials discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, and Saban Entertainment.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tokucast.
Welcome back.
Episode 25.
Is it 25?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it is. Anyway.
This will be the last review you see me in for a while because I'll be away on work.
We do have work to do, we all do. But this week, we are reviewing Superhero Taisen and Superhero Taisen Zeto.
I am excited.
Or Z, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
I go with Z because it's a Z.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Yep. So, let's start with the first one. Marcus, what'd you think?
Yep. This movie exists.
Yep.
I will say this, it's the first time that we do get the Kamen Riders and the Super Sentai in the same movie together.
Yep. And you can tell they were excited about it because that's pretty much all they focused on.
Yeah.
Was just shoving as many characters as they could into the movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's watch these characters appear on the scene for
Let's watch these people. Let's watch these Kamen Riders fight these Sentais and see how it works.
But I will say this, one thing I did find interesting about Superhero Taisen, both of them, is that the main focused characters of the movies tend to be the ones that the current show that was airing, whether it be Forze or Go Busters, Kyoryuger Wizard, they don't always take up the most focus in the story.
Which is good. Because there are so many characters that they're introducing, they can't just give the focus to the, the currently airing one. Because the first movie is about the Go-Kaigers at war with Decade.
It's about Captain
Marvelous being at war with Tsukasa because Captain Marvelous is the head of Neo Zangief and Decade is the head of Neo Shocker. And I'm just like...
They're each dedicated to taking down the opposite side, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai.
And every time one of them kills the other, they are like engulfed in some purple-ish force and disappear.
What is it? The beginning of scene of this movie where where Marvelous is fighting the 7
legendary Kamen Riders
and beats the shell of them. He turns into Gokai Red, and then he turns into Bio Red.
Mm-hmm.
Not Bio Red, it's Red 1. Yeah. And then he turns into Ninja Red and he turns into Red 1. He beats Kamen Rider 1 and 2. Right. And then he turns into Sasuke. Literally, Ninja Red, Sasuke. Mm-hmm. Splits into 5 people and just beats the other 5 up. Yep. And I'm just like,
it happens really fast.
Yes, you guys are worth it.
I thought it was cool when Decade went up and tried to go fight the Go Busters. I thought that was a cool fight. Especially when he went Kabuto and Red could keep up.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was this movie had great fight scenes, mostly. And it's just like, that one was like the greatest. Mm-hmm. Because one, and we'll talk about this more when we end up getting to Go Busters, but we also did talk about this in our top 10 fights. Mm-hmm. The Go Busters have very good teamwork. Yep. And seeing them fight...
Not to mention seeing them communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like when he goes Kabuto and he pretty much tells Red and Yellow, fall back. He uses super speed. I can keep up with him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you can keep up with him for now, but yeah, you're not going to last much longer. But anyway.
He does.
He still managed to fight him out of Kabuto.
Mm-hmm. He did manage to fight him out of Kabuto. Thought that was great.
That's a rant we need to do another day.
So
Nerfing Kabuto after
So this movie came out in 2012.
Sorry, I broke Marcus for a minute. Give him a second.
That's fine.
Just
Okay. Well, the movie came out in 2012. It was the 39th highest grossing movie in Japan that year. Made about the equivalent of $18 million US, or about 20 billion yen, or 2 billion yen, sorry.
Budget for this movie is?
I'm sure they made their money back because they made enough to get a sequel, but...
And a third.
Well, technically nah. But yeah, it opened to mixed reviews. I can understand why among both fans and critics.
Because the plot of this movie...
it opened number 1 at the Japanese box office.
The Deus Ex Machina at the end of this movie, which we will get to.
The Deus Ex hot tropical mess that this movie ended up turning into. I'm just
That's a good way to put it.
That is a great way to put it.
Following the actual people, they were fine.
And not to mention with Edgy from O's
showing up for about 5 minutes.
Yep. But let's also talk about one thing that I know you despise.
Nope, I know what it's going to be. You're going to wait. Because we do have to end up getting through the actual plot of this movie. Because...
The plot of this movie is a bunch of people fight each other.
Yes. Yep. And then it turns out it was just a giant trick the entire time.
Yes.
Because people already know that Decade and Marvelous already knew what these people were up to, so we're just going to go ahead and pretend like we're fighting for the other side now, haha. And then they're just like, guess what? But we weren't. We're just helping all these people get to a separate place.
And we weren't actually killing everyone. We were sending them to a little pocket dimension.
Yep.
That I guess Decade had.
He got it from DC.
Yeah, I believe it.
And it's Decade.
So all the other Kamen Riders and all of the other Super Sentai were taken there. Mm-hmm. This movie also has a really weird thing because it makes Kabuto, well, not really Kabuto because we'll talk about that later rant. But they make Decade and Marvelous seem very, very overpowered because Decade ends up, I don't know if he's violent emotion Decade in this movie. He sort of seems like he is.
His hair makes him look like he is.
Yeah, because he just
Decade's hair does.
That's what I was going to put. That is what I was going to bring up. His hair.
His hair is awful.
It's pretty amazing.
Would you call it a perm?
It tried to be. It's like he ends up going.
It's straight down here and then like swooshed, and then it's just like curls everywhere.
Because he basically goes through, and he just ends up wiping out like basically every other Super Sentai team by himself. Marvelous ends up taking out like basically all the other
Kamen Riders by himself,
and it's just like
some of his own team.
Yes. And to make them go away. And I'm just like, this movie couldn't be more of a...
And every time the movie wants to talk, the characters that we are spending our talking time with are Gene and Doc, Gokai Blue and Green, Hina from O's, and Kamen Rider D-End.
Which we will get to.
That all-star lineup.
What do you call... His name is Joe.
Huh?
You said Gene.
Yeah, Joe.
Well, I meant Joe.
Yeah, Joe and Doc. We'll get to D-End in a minute. Because that hot mess.
His last name is Kibikin, that's why I was getting confused. It didn't sound.
Okay, so they reveal this wonderful, makes no fucking sense trick. And then you get the poster lineup where you have all the Sentais.
You have literally everyone.
Nope, they don't have the Six Rangers there, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Except Gokai Silver.
Gokai Silver is legitimately the only Six Ranger that's there. The rest of the Six Rangers are just not there.
I can understand some of them not being there because, they're dead.
Yeah.
But
some of them. But, I mean, Gosei Knight isn't dead. Opera Killer's dead. He looks like to come back whenever the hell he wants to. As You Shine.
Yeah, I mean, Black and Black RX are both there, despite the fact that they're the same person.
They explained
They did explain that one.
Did they?
Yes.
It's explained in a decade, more or less.
Yeah, ish. But that is Honore Decado. And you get, the stereotypical big fight at the end, which was nice.
I do like some of the things, though, because they, the Masked Men and Black end up fighting together because they aired during the same time. They're both really popular, especially in the Philippines. A lot of the card-based Sentai and Riders in the fight together, like Ryuki Blade, the Ghost Sagers, all in the fight together. I thought that was pretty great. There are a couple other team-ups that don't matter. It's just like... Okay, so this whole thing.
Do you like the part where O's throws the Gokaijers his
medals?
Oh my god! O's throws the Gokaijers his medals and they all turn into Ranger Keys and they turn into one of O's combo forms.
And then all they do with it is use the fucking cannon.
They do the same thing in Z. They do the exact same thing again in Z with the Metal Heroes.
Fucking stupid!
Let's have a miniature rant about this.
Okay, let's do it.
This
Rantocast episode 0.5.
Let's do it.
Is problematic in itself.
Yeah.
Because literally...
Why did they turn into Ranger Keys?
Why did they turn into Ranger Keys? Why did they not actually end up doing anything with the actual suits themselves? Because, also, the Puto-tier core medals are there. Yeah. How the hell is that a thing? They got destroyed at the end of their show.
So did Ank's core medal. How come he can henshin at all?
I hate this so much. And the fact that, just like Jacob just pointed out, they did it again in the second movie with the Metal Hero keys.
Which they somehow got keys from that too.
Oh my god,
it makes no sense.
It wouldn't have been so bad if they actually would have did something with them. But basically
and then just to add just to rub salt in the open wound of bullshit. They beat the villain.
Yep.
They win. Hooray! And DN goes, no. Decade was mean. I'm gonna destroy the world.
So originally they had like two big super weapons that they were going to combine into one big super weapon. Didn't happen because Decade and Marvelous revealed, we were actually against you this whole time. But then DN goes, Decade, you were a dick, and just makes the super weapon.
DN
for no other reason than Decade, you were a dick.
If you don't know...
In DN, you are a bitch.
Dean legitimately at the end of this movie go, "Wah, I'm sad about stuff. I hate you and you and you. You're cool and you," and just decides to go ahead combine this thing.
Who's your cool? I have to ask.
I'm going to go ahead and say it was Boken Pink. She's cool.
I was going to say it was Hina because that was the only other person he was talking to.
I don't know. Boken Pink exists, and she's also there.
Technically, everyone's there.
Look, I'm just
including the dead ones. Freaking guy from Jetman is there, and he's dead.
And then they end up combining. It was the Go Busters and Forze's Astro Switches.
And then going off of the O's Metal thing, how come the switches work on the Go Buster Zord?
Okay, in Superhero Taisen Z, they also do something similar where Wizard goes into the Kyoryu, Wizard goes into the Kyoryuger mech. Theirs is more fantastical. It's not like
magic.
It's magic. It's not really a machine. The Go Busters mech is a legit machine that was constructed by people, and
Forze is also constructed by people.
And they just happened to put
giant rockets,
switches in slots for his switches in there that he could use.
Now here's the thing.
Oh boy.
A weirdly positive thing. There are a total of 486 total costumed actors on the screen when they end up having that giant shot. Right?
I believe it.
Yeah.
And Toei sent this movie to see if it could be entered into the Guinness Book of World Records because of that. That's cool.
Did it make it?
I have no fucking idea, and I don't care. Let's see. Z.
I'm gonna fucking
go. Well, this movie was successful enough that the producer wanted to turn it into a yearly spring or summer movie series that the kids could go see over break. And this one was successful enough to spawn one other, and that is Superhero Taisen Z. Now, this movie made less than half the money that Superhero Taisen 1 did.
Jesus.
Yep.
It was better.
This one made about $8.9 million, about 1 billion yen. It was 63 at the Japanese box office for that year in 2013. Guess what movie made more money than this?
What?
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
That movie was shit.
That movie made me drink.
I'm offended.
We saw that movie for Marcus's birthday when we were in college.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We ended up going to the same showing. You and I went to go... Yeah, because you and I went to go see it. He ended up being 3 rows in front of us, oddly enough.
So like the first one.
I thought we all went together.
No, and then we immediately went... Because I don't think you lived with us yet, or did you? Mm-hmm. No, because that
was the year before.
This was like when I first met him.
So. And then I went home and immediately had 5 shots of vodka.
That movie was awful. But back to this awful movie. Well, better than the first one movie.
Like the Guy Wizard movie made more money than this one too.
Not surprised. That movie was still not good. But
I still think in terms of plot, Superhero Taisen Z was better.
Now here's the thing.
Also,
with Z,
the third Madoka Magica movie.
Great movie.
Which was 29th at the Japanese box office.
Is that the one you made me watch during?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that was a great movie.
But yeah, this movie. So the whole thing, they introduced the metal. They make the metal heroes part of this, except for Kabutak and Robotech, and I understand why those 2 shows are shit. But this, they end up bringing in the Metal Heroes, and it's the new spaceship.
And then they get Metal Hero Ranger keys
Yay.
for their Hydra Cannon.
Kenji Oba shows up in this.
That was also one of the greatest characters.
He drives through a wall because...
He walks out and roundhouse kicks a dude in the face.
And it's like, get in! And he's just like,
I don't think that's... Was that this one?
That was this one.
Are you sure?
Yes, it was.
I just watched this movie. I don't remember that
happens in this movie where he just drives through a wall and just like, I guess...
You sure it wasn't a Gavin movie?
It might have been the
Gavin
movie.
I don't think so, because I just watched this movie. I don't... That
might have been the Gavin movie.
It might have been the Gavin movie.
Yeah.
I get them confused. But...
Because Kenji Oba's Kenji Oba.
Kenji Oba's great. He should be in all things always.
No, he is in this movie, though. He plays the head of whatever Gavin's organization is.
Yeah, he's the old Gavin playing the new head of that show.
Yeah, that's who he plays in this.
And he doesn't end up coming back.
Also Beast is there. That's it.
He's not in there that much, though.
That's the point.
Thank God.
Thank Christ.
But
he's still annoying, though, because he shows up and he's like, hey, you're not...
And then he fights with Kyoryu Gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're both gold.
No.
Then,
they both use their finishers on bad guys at the same time.
This is the movie, though, where Shadow Moon is once again the bad guy.
Oh, what? Okay. I'm going to tell a story real quick. When we first watched this movie, I did not know what Shadow Moon was. Mm-hmm. I did not know what Black or Black Star. I was not aware of any of those
You have told the story before.
I know, but still. He lost his fucking mind. because Yellow is walking up. Shadow Moon walks out with the Devil Saber.
You see him in the movie before that, though.
The Satan Saber.
The Satan Saber.
Yeah.
But the moment where that happens, you lost your fucking mind.
Look, Shadow
you
Moon
thought
is
she was going to legitimately die.
Very scary.
No,
When he wants to be...
Not in this movie.
Not after
Okay,
RX.
Shadow Moon is like Darth Vader. The more you try to make him cool or make him do cool things, the less cool he actually becomes.
Debatable. But in this one, it's just
At least
like
I think he
when
is.
Shadow Moon first is coming out, I'm just like,
No, he's
well,
in the movie before that. You see
I know,
him
but he
several
doesn't.
times.
But he doesn't really do anything until this point.
Yeah, but still.
And then he ends up
We
coming
already
out
know he's there.
and beats the shit out of the Go Busters.
Have we talked about the plot yet?
There's a oh right.
The fact that a little like space orb,
Owl thing.
that little owl ball thing comes down from space, and Yellow Buster is like, "I'm gonna fix it."
It's hard to remember the plot because it involved Yellow Buster and we don't care.
Yeah,
It's basically her and this little cute robot friend,
the bland of the bland.
Going on, trying to
and
be
they're
Adventure
going
Time.
on the way because the bad organization wants this little robot
The
owl
bad
thing.
organization once again is Shocker. This time it's Space Shocker.
Space
in space. Uchu Shaka.
No.
I think they do that.
I'm
at
sure
one
they
point.
fucking do. Because Forza is...
Well, he's in this movie too. He's not in as much as he was the last one.
Thank
he's
Christ.
In
Moving on. I don't
like
mind.
Forza, though.
It's not, but he likes to overstay his welcome.
Yeah. But this movie.
What?
You okay?
I'm sorry, I just blanked out. These movies.
I think these movies have broken us.
It's
More like him.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
be so bad if they weren't so bad. And that's the biggest issue.
They wouldn't be bad if they weren't so bad.
Again, great, good,
Like, it's cool to see everybody together.
good premise, good fan service, try harder with the plot.
It's good to see everyone together.
What about?
That's great.
I remember the first time I watched Superhero Taisen Z. I was in college with you, Matt, and it was when Jay showed up. That was your favorite part because it was. I'm pretty sure it was Gold and Beast when they're trying to fight the bad guy, and then Jay shows up and he's like, "I'll help too," and he's got his broom. But after they beat him and they walk off screen, he just comes on and he's like, "As the guardian of the forest, I will take it from here." Sweep, 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 sweep.
Fucking great.
It was great.
That was the only good part of the movie, really. The only really memorable part is just Jay. I am the guardian of the forest. Sweep, 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 sweep.
I will take it from here.
You okay, Marcus?
I hate this. I hate it so much. But why, though?
Yeah, guys, sorry, Marcus doesn't have much to say.
It's just like...
He's broken.
The second one, I will give it this. I like a lot more than the first one because...
They tried harder.
They tried harder and the end wasn't a punk bitch. But that first movie, besides the fight scenes, because I will laud both of these movies, they had both really good fight scenes. That whole scene
Any
where...
fight scene involving Wizard has a good fight scene.
Yeah. That whole scene where Wizard and Gavin are first fighting at the beginning
Yeah,
of the
that's a
movie.
good scene.
Great scene. But this movie is still this movie.
But what about the part where Shinken Yellow shows up to help What's-Her-Face because they're played by the same actor?
Yes!
That was yeah.
I thought that was just a little cute thing they added, and I was like, I'm okay with this. I like Shinken Yellow. But this movie still ends up being this movie. And I mean, we're going to be having a lot more to say about the characters of both of these movies when we actually get to the various shows. Go Busters, Kyoryuger, Wizard, Beast.
Oh, if you want to know anything about Wizard, just watch our first Tokucast. That about sums up our review of the movie, doesn't it?
Or our best and worst.
And the show itself.
But anyway, that has been what we have to say with the superhero Taisen movies. We
Not
hope
really much else to say.
Yeah, there really isn't much else to say. Good fan service.
We were
not
about
great
as
plot.
focused as the movies were.
Yep. That is pretty fucking accurate. But
Stay tuned next time as we go ahead and do... which one? Uchukita. I'm not talking about Forza. I'm talking about the Space Beast Sentai of Kingdom. Nah. I'm excited for that one.
I'm not.
I won't be here.
But this has been the Tokucast reviews. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I guess watch the movies.